All right, how you doing? Here we go. Week 6 NFL picks, 2022-23 season. We'll be recapping the picks of Week 5 and giving you my picks for Week 6. Okay. If you missed my video last week, that was my first video. Talk about my two systems combining head-to-head and box. Won't talk much about that. If you want to hear about that and some other wagering advice against the spread, check out last week's video. Okay, so last week, head to head. Here we go. These are the figures from head to head last week. Same thing I showed last week. Last week we were 10-4. This week we went 7-4. Not bad. Not bad. As always, we don't do the under -7 lines, so -$8, -11. I'm sorry, that's this week. So last week, -14 Bills covered. We don't do anything under -7. Why? Jaguars, Chiefs, and Bucks did not cover. So under -7 went 1-3. We don't touch -1 and 7 or under. So we went 7-4 head to head, and we here have our box picks. Right over here, our box picks. 2 weeks ago, we were 4-10, and I told you after week 4 we get better. Week 5 usually has an up curve, and so this week we were 7-5. So actually, our box system was a little better than our head-to-head system. So 7-4, 7-5, not bad numbers. We'll take that. It wasn't 10-4 like the week before, but anything above 500%, we'll take it. Okay. I talked about the unders. Okay, head to head with the positive spread. We had amazing numbers the last 2 years, up and over 70%, sometimes 80%, like I said last week. Okay, here we are. These are the picks that I gave you last week for week 5. And we went 4-1 again. 4-1 2 weeks ago, 4-1 last week. We're 8-2 for the season. What is that? That's head to head with a positive line. Really easy. Okay, it happened again. It happened last year. It happened the year before. Okay, so that's something we're really keeping an eye on, is that positive head to head and an underdog plus line. We're 8-2. Let me see. We're 1-1 with our 3+ picks. 4-2 with our 2-pointers, and as far as the box scores this week, we were 3-1 with our. Remember, with the box scores, we only touch 7+ in the box. So Browns were 8 covered, Giants were 8 covered, Cowboys were 12.5 covered, Lions were 8. How they got shut out, beyond me. But you know what? The system was above 50% worse, so we're going to keep that. Okay, jumping right over to our over-under. I told you the last 2 years, over-unders, we've had nice results with that. So, here's last week's picks. Just like this is the paper I showed you last week with our over-unders. And our over-unders for week 5, and we were 3-1 again. 3-1 last 2 weeks ago, 3-1 this past week. Okay, so we're 6-2 on the over-unders, 6-2 on the underdog head-to-head. So we're looking at some good numbers. Okay, just kind of a recap of last week's picks. The Broncos under, we got that. The Lions over, Lions got shut out. Don't tell me what happened. Saints took the over. 49ers did not take the under. Now, if you go back to last week, I told you I was a little skeptical about the 49er game because their opponent was a +2. They were a -50. That's where we got -48. But you're not supposed to take the over-under when one team is in the positive. Okay, and that's kind of how 49ers blew them out. So really should have taken that pick. The system said not to take that pick, and it didn't happen. The Rams got the under. The 49ers covered the 6.5. Jaguars -7. If you go back to last week, I was iffy about this pick. Why? Because it's a -7. We don't touch -7 or lower. Okay, so I kind of want to throw that game out. I kind of want to throw this game out. Okay, I told you about. Well, let's finish this last one. So the Eagles did not cover the -5. Okay, so I went 4-4 on my picks. Now I told you last week how I make picks with my gut. Okay, my gut told me to take the 49er under, and my gut told me to take the Jaguar -7. It did not happen. If I would have listened just to the system, we would have went 4-2. Okay, so we would have went 4-2 with the picks, 6-2, 3-1 with the over under, and 3-1 with the underdogs. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That would have been 10-4. Not bad. Okay, so this week I'm going to try to keep my gut out of it. Okay, and stick to the system. Okay, so this week this is what we're looking at. Okay, remember the head-to-head has to be above 30. Okay, there's only 3 games this week where the head-to-head is above 30. That's the Bucks at 46, 49ers at 42, and Eagles at 38. Okay, now the Bucks, we're not touching that game. Why? Because we don't go any lower than -6.5 on the line. The line's at -8. We're not touching the Bucks. Okay, the box score is also only at a 5. Okay, we want that to be above 7. There's only one 3-pointer this week. 3-pointers are our lock bets. We're 1-1. That's the 49ers. The 49ers -5.5. So we have plus 30 for head-to-head. We have plus 7 or more for the box, and we have greater than -6.5 for the line. So we got those 3. So we're taking the 49ers for sure. That's our lock bet. Okay. Why are we not going to touch the Eagles? Well, for one, the box is at a negative. Okay. When the box is at a negative, that's not a good thing. Okay. The head-to-head's at 38. That's decent. And the line is higher than -6.5. So those are 2 pretty good things. Now, if you go back to last week, I mentioned we stay away. We try to be wary of night games, be wary of standalone games. Okay. Sunday night, Eagles, Cowboys. Okay. They like to keep these games close. It's going to be a very emotional game. I'm not sure if it's Cooper Rush or Dak starting. So we're going to stay away from the Eagles game. Okay. The Bills, it's a gut choice. Okay. Why is it a gut choice? Because this is not above 30. Okay. But look at that box score, 11. Okay. 11. That's, I think, the second highest box score this week. And we have a -3. So, you know, it's a gut pick. I kind of want to do it. Now they are playing the Chiefs, so you kind of don't. So it's a gut pick. It's going to be one of my gut picks that I'm not supposed to make, but I probably will go with it. Okay. Moving down to the Broncos. Now, the Broncos have a double green right here. What does that mean? That means that one of these 2 is, so this box score is above 7. What do we got? 9.5. Okay, so this box score for the Broncos is above 7. And then look at this line. Okay, 5.5. 5.5 underdog. Okay, so Broncos is going to be one of our picks. And then moving down lower, and then also it's 17. Now I know it's supposed to be above 30. It's not. It's below 30. But this double green right here, that's what we're looking for. Okay, we're looking for the underdogs with 2 pluses up here. Any positive numbers. Okay, just this positive number actually, but because this one's positive as well and over 7, that's a good thing. Same thing right here. We have a positive head-to-head. We have a +7 box, and we have a 3-point underdog. And that's Patriots, who are playing. So the Broncos are playing, let's see. Broncos are playing Chargers, and the Patriots are playing Browns. Okay, so we're going to take those 2 because of these double greens down here. Now we're going to jump over to what we were just talking about. Okay, the plus head-to-heads with the underdog plus lines. Okay, we're 8-2, 8-2. So we're trusting the system. Okay, we're trusting the system. I'm gonna tell you where my gut's gonna say not to trust the system, but so we have the Broncos, like we mentioned earlier, 17 head-to-head, 5.5 line. We're going with that underdog. Commanders, 10 head-to-head with the one underdog. We're going there. Giants 7 head-to-head, 2-point underdog. Patriots 5 head-to-head, 3 underdog. Now the Saints. Okay, here's the issue with the Saints. Okay, yes, they are a +1 head-to-head, and it's only 1 point, so that's only 1 point, and the line's only 2. But look down here. Look at the Saints box score -9. That's horrible. That's bad. So the system is saying to go ahead and do it, but and the results are saying to go ahead and do it. But I'm going to show you later what I'd rather take. And speaking what I'd rather take this huge box score right here. Jaguars, who I believe are facing the Colts. Okay, now even though the Colts head-to-head is it's only at a +1. Okay, so the head-to-head for the Jaguars opponent is at a +1. This head-to-head, this box score, which was 7-5 this past week. So this box score is 18. That's huge. The line's 5 or 2. The line is 2. Underdog. So I'm going to take that game actually by gut instead of the Saints. Okay, so we'll see what happens. Who do we have next? The Bills. Okay, we talked about the Bills. It's another gut. Okay, a high box. 49ers. We talked about that. We're taking that. The Broncos. We're taking that. Bengals. We are not taking the Bengals because the Bengals have a negative head-to-head score. Okay, Bengals are playing the Saints, and although I'm not taking the Saints either, I'm not taking the Bengals. So that's supposed to be a close one. Patriots, we talked about, we're taking, and the Panthers. Okay, I know it's a +11, and head-to-head hasn't winning. And I know I told you I'm not really big on individual stats, but they did lose Baker Mayfield and PJ. Can't remember his last name right now. He's got 2 touchdowns and 8 interceptions in his career. They got a new head coach, so who knows what's happening on that Panthers game. Let's stay away from it. One notable that's not highlighted is that Jets. Okay, so you have the Jets head-to-head at 6.5, and you have a 7.5 line. I believe they're playing the Packers. I believe they're playing the Packers, who aren't too consistent right now, and also the Packers head-to-head is only 3. Okay, so I'm not taking the Jets. That's another maybe gut pick. Not going to do it, but it wouldn't be a bad bet to take the Jets. And everything down, the head-to-head is too low. We're not looking at that. Okay, so those are that's our picks for this week. That's our pre-cap for this coming week. Jumping back over to our head-to-head. So for our over-unders, I'm sorry, not head-to-head, for our over-unders. So for our over-unders, we want +30. If you remember from last week, we have not +30, either over 30 or under -30. So we have -31 for the Ram game, which is at a 41 over-under. So you can go ahead and do that. We're not supposed to mess with -29, but we took -29 with the Rams last week, and that covered. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. Another gut pick right here. Plus the Colts were involved in that horrible Thursday night game. So let's go ahead and do -29 with the Colts, 42 over-under. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take that over-under. Our over-unders are at 6-2. Okay, not a bad result right now. So I showed you last week's picks. Okay, the proof is in the pudding. Okay, I can't make this stuff up because it's right here for you to see. Okay, 49ers -5.5. Broncos, Commanders, Giants, Panthers. I told you about the Saints. Okay, the system says to take the Saints, so there it is. I don't like it. Instead, I like the Jags. The system doesn't say to take the Jags, but I like the Jags better. That's a gut pick. And then the 2 unders I just talked about: Colts under 42 and Rams under 41. Also the other 2 box gut picks I talked about was the Bills -3. Okay, they got a pretty good a box score that I like, and then the Jets that I just talked about. So those are my 2 gut picks. So we'll see how we do next week. We are 7-4, 7-5, 3-1, and 3-1. Okay, really good numbers this week. Following 10-4 last week, 3-1 last week, 3-1 with the over/under. Really good numbers. Of course, as we mentioned last week, the box scores weren't that great, but it's week 4. Box scores don't start showing better until week 5. Week 5, we're 7-1, so that's coming into fruition. Okay, so it's right here. Proof's in the pudding. Okay, if you want to validate that, go ahead and check last week's video, and you'll be able to hear everything I just told you, so you know I'm not. So you know I'm telling the truth. All right, we'll see how we do this week, and we'll get back with each other for week 6 recap and week 7 picks next week.